Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. Today we are going to be analyzing Act 2, Scene 5 from The Merchant of Venice. This is the main plot. It takes place in Venice, in Shylock's house. Remember that Jessica is about to leave her house. She's going to elope with Lorenzo. Why do we use the word elope? Because to elope with someone, it's a specific, the specific meaning of the word has to do with running away with someone to get married. Yes. So Jessica and Lorenzo want to elope. Yes. Jessica wants to get away from her house. We know that she's not happy there, that she considers that place to be hell. We also know that Gobo, Shylock's servant, is now going to be Bassanio's servant. Yes. And this is, even when they have agreed to do this, Shylock doesn't like the idea because, of course, he was taken away, his servant, okay? But well, Gobo isn't happy there as well, yes? And we have, again, this theme of Christians versus Jews, how this struggle is constantly present for one reason or another in the text. So also remember that Jessica is going to be dressed up as a torch bearer, that she will go to the mask with Lorenzo and the rest of his friends, and she's going to be disguised as a torch bearer, and this is the first instance of cross-dressing in The Merchant of Venice. Okay, so let us analyze Act 2, Scene 5, which again has to do with the main plot. We will see Shylock talking to Lancelot to Gobbo, his servant, who is about to leave. Yes? So we are going to listen to the recording and then we are going to analyze it, okay? Allow me to share my sound with you. Okay.
In supper time, disguise us at my lodging and return.
Okay. Give me a second because this is not that part.
Nor and rend apparel up.
And Salanio, was not that letter from Pergno and Salanio, was not.
And never dare misfortune cross her foot.
Locke's house.
Okay, here we are, Act 2, Scene 5.
Enter Shylock and Lancelot.
Well, thou shalt see, thy eye shall be thy judge, the difference of old Shylock and Bassanio. But Jessica, thou shalt not gormandize as thou hast done with me. What, Jessica? And sleep and snore and rend apparel out. Why, Jessica, I say.
Why, Jessica?
Who bids thee call? I do not bid thee call.
Your worship was wont to tell me I could do nothing without bidding. Enter Jessica.
Okay, up to here with this part. So what is happening here is that Shylock is warning Lancelot that he's not going to have a good time with Bassanio, because when he was his servant, Shylock's servant, he was able to be lazy, to wear different clothes, yes? And while they are talking, he calls Jessica. Yes, Jessica, her daughter, who is still at her house. It says, well, you shall see, your eyes shall be your judge, the difference of old Shylock and Bassanio. What, Jessica? So while he's talking to Lancelot, he's calling to Jessica. Thou shalt not gormandize, you shall not be lazy, as you have done with me. What, Jessica? And sleep and snore. Notice the use of alliteration, yes, repetition of the initial sound. And rent apparel out and wear different clothes. Why, Jessica, I say. And Lancelot making a joke, because remember that Lancelot is the clown of the story. He repeats that, why, Jessica? So he calls Jessica with the same tone that a father would do. So, of course, Shylock is shocked that he does that, and this is meant to be funny and to provide comic relief. Who bids the call? I do not bid the call. So why are you calling her? I didn't ask you to call her. You are not her father, yes? Your worship was wont to tell me I could do nothing without bidding. So you have told me that I can do nothing without your permission. Of course, many of the things that Lancelot says don't make any sense, okay? So Jessica enters and let's listen to what she says.
Call you? What is your will?
I am bid forth to supper, Jessica. There are my keys. But wherefore should I go? I am not bid for love. They flatter me. But yet I'll go in hate to feed upon the prodigal Christian. Jessica, my girl, look to my house. I am right loath to go. There is some ill a brewing towards my rest, for I did dream of money bags tonight.
I beseech you, sir, go. My young master doth expect your reproach.
So do I his.
And they have conspired together. I will not say you shall see a mask, but if you do, then it was not for nothing that my nose fell a-bleeding on Black Monday, last at 6 o'clock in the morning. Falling out that year on Ash Wednesday was 4 year in the afternoon.
What? Are there masks? Hear you me, Jessica. Lock up my doors, and when you hear the drum and the vile squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not you up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street to gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces. But stop my house's ears, I mean my casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. By Jacob's staff, I swear I have no mind of feasting forth tonight. But I will go. Go you before me, Sirrah. Say I will come.
I will go before, sir. Mistress, look out the window for all this. There will come a Christian by, will be worth a Jewess's eye.
Exit, Launcelot.
What says that fool of Hagar's offspring, huh?
His words were farewell, mistress, nothing else.
The patch is kind enough, but a huge feeder, snail slow in profit, and he sleeps by day more than the wildcat. Thrones hive not with me, therefore I part with him, and part with him to one that I would have him help to waste his borrowed purse. Well, Jessica, go in. Perhaps I will return immediately. Do as I bid you, shut doors after you. Fast find, fast find, a proverb never stale in thrifty mind.
Exit.
Farewell. And if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter lost.
Okay, up to here with this scene, let us go back to where we left. So Jessica comes after she was called several times. Call you, what is your will? So what do you want? I am bid for to supper, Jessica. So he is informing her that he was invited for dinner. Remember that Shylock has to go and have dinner with Bassanio and Antonio to make the final arrangements of the contract. There are my keys, but wherefore should I go? But why should I go? I am not bid for love. I am not invited for love. Remember that Bassanio and Antonio, if it weren't because they need money, they wouldn't be treating Shylock in the right way or in a respectful way. Yes, so I am not invited in love. They flatter me, but yet I'll go in hate. So they flatter me because they need something from me. But he says, but yet I will go because I hate them. To feed upon the prodigal Christian, Jessica, my girl, look to my house. So now Shylock is going to ask Jessica to take care of his house. Be careful with my house. And here it starts to work a literary device that is very interesting, that is called dramatic irony. That takes place when the audience has more information than the characters on stage. Yes. So what is it that we know? Because he's asking Jessica to take care of her house, but we know that it is the very same Jessica who is going to elope. Yes, and she is going to take jewels and money. That's what the letter said. So we know Jessica's plans, and Shylock doesn't know that she is planning to leave and to steal some money from him. Yes, so dramatic irony is at work at this part of the story. So Jessica, my girl, look to my house. I am right loath to go. I am unwilling to go. There is some ill brewing towards my rest. So he has a bad feeling about something. And we know what that bad feeling is about. Yes, it's about Jessica and Lorenzo's elopement, about all the money that they are going to steal from him. For I did dream of money bags tonight. And here we can see the role of superstition, because he says here that he has dreamt of money bags, and it was considered bad luck dreaming of money bags at that time. Lancelot replies, I beseech you, sir, go, my young master does expect your reproach. So please go to meet Bassanio, because he is waiting for you. So do I his. So he is also waiting for him. And Lancelot makes a comment about a mask taking place tonight. Remember that there is a mask, a party that is going to take place, yes? So when Shylock finds out about this, he says, this is line 27, he says, what, are there masks? So this is very bad news for him. Here you meet, Jessica, lock up my doors, and when you hear the drum and the vile squealing of the wry-necked five, clamber not up to the casements, then nor thrust your head into the public street to gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces. So now that he knows that there is a party going around on the street, he's even more worried about the house. So he asks Jessica, he emphasizes to Jessica to lock up the doors. Yes, when you hear the drum, do not scale the window and do not thrust your head outside to see what is happening. Yes, to gaze on Christian fools. Yes, let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. So the house as if it were a human being that can be sober. Yes, so let not the sound of music enter my house. Before that it says, but stop my house's ears. Again, a human part of the body assigned to an object. So this is personification. By Jacob's staff, I swear I have no mind of feasting forth tonight, but I will go you before me, Sarah, say I will come. So he knows that he doesn't want to leave his house. He's worried, he has a bad feeling, but he has to leave because he has talked to Antonio and Bassanio, and they have to finish, sorry, making the final arrangements for the bond. Okay. So Lancelot decides to leave, but before Shylock leaves, Lancelot says something to Jessica aside. An aside is a stage direction. A stage direction is something that appears on the script that actors are told so that they know how they have to do it. An aside, it's when a couple of characters are on stage and they make a comment on the situation or they say something about what is happening, but the other characters that are present on stage cannot listen to this, okay? So he says, mistress, look out at window for all this. There will come a Christian by, will be forth worth a Jew's eye. So he says to her the opposite of what Shylock told her. He says, look out the window. Look out the window. Give me a second. Sorry. You see, I'm having some technical issues. Okay, I think this is recording. Look out the window. So he's telling her to do the opposite. Look out the window for all this, because there will be a Christian coming tonight. And this is Lorenzo, who is coming to take care of the house. And of course, Shylock hears something and he says, what says that fool of Hagar's offspring, huh? So what are you telling to her? Hagar is a character from the Bible. Yes, he was one of the wives, let's say, that Abraham had. She is the one through whom the Muslims have come to the world. Yes, so of course Muslims are enemies of Jewish people, especially at that time. So that's why he calls Lancelot Hagar's offspring. It's an insult connected with the story from the Bible, and I can leave you the story for you to read because it's very interesting. And Jessica lies. His words were, farewell, mistress, nothing else. Of course she lies because she's afraid and she wants to escape, okay? And then Shylock again will describe Lancelot as someone who eats a lot, he's a snail slow in profit, who sleeps a lot, who doesn't work a lot, who is a huge feeder, he eats a lot, yes? And then he says, this is line 46:7, therefore I part with him, therefore I let him live. So he's not living because he wants to. I'm leaving him, I'm making him live, yes? To one that I would have him help to waste his borrowed purse. Well, Jessica, go in, perhaps I will return immediately. Do as I bid you. Shut doors after you. Fast bind, a proverb never stale in thrifty mind. So please close the doors. Let's be safe. Yeah, so he doesn't see that it is Jessica, the one who is actually going to unlock the doors and is going to elope with Lorenzo because he has no idea. Yes? And when he leaves the stage, Jessica is left alone on stage and she says, farewell, goodbye, and if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter lost. Yes, notice the rhyming couplet, yes, indicating the end of the scene. Okay?